Hello everyone, Regina here, and as promised, I'm going to show you how to make worship streamers and worship flags. If you want to see more of the videos on how to make these, I'm just going to give you a jump start. Hit that like button, subscribe, and you could get more videos on how to create your own dance wear and your own worship gear. These streamers here are very easy to make and very inexpensive to make. I'm going to show you how to make these. I personally like chiffon. I love the way that it flows. For one, it's light, doesn't get tangled up on you. And for those that like the banner flags, I'll show you how to make these as well. Very nice. My favorite are the bigger swing flags. I like the swing flags. I like the way that they flow. And you can decorate the ends. As you can see, I decorate my ends. I made several of these. There's a flex rod in here. This flex rod that is in here cost about $27. But this is another one. Alternative to the $27 flex rod. Which is what's in this seam. And I'm going to show you what's in this seam as well. This is what is in the seam, and this is what you'll need. And you can get these. It's PVC. You can get them from Lowe's. And if you see at the end, there's a hole in the end of it. And what I do is, also I go to Hobby Lobby. These come in 6 feet cuts. You can have them cut it into 4 feet. The banner flags are 4 feet long. And what I do is I go to Hobby Lobby and I get the wooden dowels. And you just stick them down in the middle of it, and it goes in to make them more flexible. Or you don't have to. I just like to be in control and have a little bit more stability, as well. So it straightens it out a little bit more, because the difference between the flex rod and this pipe hose, this PVC, is once you bend it, it does not go back so easily. But with the flex rod, once you bend it, it does snap back into place. So in your flag bag or whatever, you can put it in, and then you'll be ready to go. With the flex, with the piping, if you bend it and put it in, you have to unbend it once you get to your destination to use your flags. But that's what the stick is for. And you can get a long bag to accommodate your bigger flags, like I did. Just invest in a longer bag. So what you'll need, again, in making your flags, you'll need wooden dowels, $1.64 at Hobby Lobby. If you're making the streamers, you can get smaller ones as well. You're going to need some hooks, and I'm going to show you these. This right here is nothing more than a paper for pictures, paper hooks. They go in the back. This right here is a split ring, and then it goes on, and then you have, this is a fishing hook, and it spins around. This part goes into the wooden dowel. See that? You just put it in, and I put a little glue on the end of the tip, see? And then the split ring with this fishing hook, it goes around and around and around. And then you're going to have your rings. And this is what you put on the tips of them. Excuse my backside. This is what it looks like. And this is what you're going to be creating. And then you're able to spin it around. See, without it getting tangled up. But what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to buy some split rings. I bought different sizes. These are smaller. You're going to need a button eye. And what you do is you take your button eye, you put one here, like that. You put your material over it. You put your material over it. And then you take the other one. It's just like this. And what I do is I just cut a little slit to where it goes all the way down. And you take this other piece and it goes over the top. And you're going to need a hammer. And you're going to need a hard surface. And you take it out and you just hit it. And then what you end up with is a nice button eye. And then you run your split hook through it with your fish lure. And then the next thing you know, you got a nice streamer. A nice streamer. I'm getting better and better at making these. You have your wooden dowels, like I said. And the tip of them, you can put your tips. Any kind of tip that you want. Hobby Lobby has this. They fit right on. And then you just glue them, as well. You don't want that big one. You can have a little one, a smaller one. But you can get these all day at Hobby Lobby. You can also make these. All you have to do is, again, the picture hooks. You find the picture hook kits with the wire that you hang on the back of your picture so you can hang it on the wall. That's all this is. And then it screws down in to your rod. And then you have the movable, reversible spinners. You can get these all day in the jewelry section. Then you again have the split hook. And then you have these little clasps here. And then they would just hook into your button eye. And you have your streamers. You'll need some seam tape. You'll need some ribbon. These are 4 feet yards of ribbon that you can get for $5. And as you can see, even with this right here, you can see what kind of streamer you're going to have with this. You don't have to sew the ends. You just simply cut where you want, put your button eye in it, clasp it, and the next thing you know, you've got a streamer. That's simple with these ribbons in place. With this right here, this is 4 inches. You'll need to make sure that it's wide enough because you don't want anything that's not really wide enough or it won't work. This is another one that I made as well. But as you can see, this one has 3 rings on it. And the same thing, all you have to do is just connect it, clasp it on there, and then you have your multi-streamer. It's really easy to make these, the things that you'll need. You'll also need some scissors. These are really neat because they actually have a guide laser on it, and that way you won't miscut. But what we're going to do today is we're going to make the banners. We're going to make the smaller one just to start. with the smaller one. And you can get an idea, because what you're going to do is you're going to use your seam tape, and all you're doing is just ironing it in and sticking your rod right through it. If you don't want to sew the ends of your flag, like this one and this flex rod, and you can see how thin this flex rod is. Really, the flex rods really are nice, but not everybody can afford to go out and purchase all of the things. So if you're on a budget, this is on a budget worshiping God. And if you're able to get one, you know, the good thing about this is that you make a bunch of these and use the same flex rod. I just happen to like to have mine stationary, so I'm making a whole bunch of them. And then I seal my ends because I'm not planning on using the flex rod, because I want different flags, as you can plainly see. I've got the white, I've got the purple, I've got the blue, then I have the red ones there as well. You know, like I said, these red ones are nice as well. And you can see with the red ones, same thing. Look at that. Iron it on. You can sew it if you know how to sew. Stick it in there. Put your ball tip on the end, and you can sew around it. Okay? If you're not a good sewer, if you're not a good seamstress, there's a solution for that as well. Fire. And I'm going to show you how to use this as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one of the smaller banners first, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to start with this, with the purple, and you see it's just a square. It's just a square, and you can come up, it doesn't have to be perfect, because by the time you cut it up and sear the ends, you're going to see that it is perfect square, and it looks really, really nice. See? It's kind of like what Jesus said, make a joyful noise. He didn't say we had to sound good. In worshiping, we want some things to be pretty. They don't have to be perfect, but they will be functional. I guarantee you that. So you're going to have your material. Get you some material. Hobby Lobby has everything that you need. And I'm going to be posting other videos as well. So again, hit that like button, guys. Subscribe and let me know how your projects are going from you watching the videos. As you can see, I have ironed this. So what you're going to do is you're going to set it on your lowest setting. Bear with me while I'm doing adjustment so that you can see this. Okay. We have our material. We have our seam. We have it set on a synthetic because this is a very delicate material and you want to... Wow. That was just not right at all. I apologize for that. But what we're going to do is you're going to take your material, and you can buy thinner. I just happen to run out. But if you can't find the thinner, you just simply cut it in half. That's all you do. Just cut it in half. You're going to line it. They're not that hard to make, guys. You're going to eyeball it. Trial and error. But you know that it's not that big. Your dowel is not that big. You're going to come back again. I just spray mine with a little water. And now we're going to iron it in. These are fun to make, but I think the most fun part for me is having the flags, knowing that I'm up there praising, worshiping, and I made them myself so that I could praise and worship God. He will give you the talent. He's giving you the talent to praise and worship Him. He's giving you the heart to praise and worship Him. You know, if you get a little wrinkle in it, that's okay. That's fine. Just spray it and iron it out. No problem. No problem at all. And I'm going to show you, you don't have to sew at all. It's amazing, but I've only done this, like I said, with the chiffon. I don't know about any other materials, if the lighter will work or not on them, but as you can see, now we have it. Look at that. See? And so what are you going to do with those frayed ends? I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with those frayed ends. You're not going to be afraid to do this. Very quickly, just go down the edges very quickly. It seals it. If you can't sew, that's okay. If you're too young to use a lighter, get your parents. I don't recommend doing this if you don't know what you're doing or if you're too young to be using a lighter. Please do not do this. But as you can see, I'm going very fast, and you see the ends are frayed. Just hold it there long enough to cut those off and to burn those off. See? Look at that. And the same with the bottom. You see all of that at the bottom? You can either go and cut that off, or really what I do is I just burn it off. You just hold it in the bottom. Go across the bottom. You're sealing it. And also the lighter actually works like scissors, because anything that does not burn, like you can see these little pieces that are hanging off, you just come back and cut them off. That's all. That's it. For this one, see, seal those ends. And with that seam, you do the same thing with the seam. You're just going to run it across the top, run it across the top. That's all you're going to do. Then you're going to take your dowel, you put it on the end, and come back. And what I do, if you don't want it to turn, all you got to do is just light it, because it melts, and clamp it down. And there you have your flag. It's not rocket scientists to create your flags. But like I said, this is just one. And so now what you have is, you have your flags. Yay, praise Jesus. So this, like I said, was just for banner, just to let you know what you would need, the things that you would need to get going and to make your banners. You have different ones that you can make. Like I said, you have the swing flags, the bigger swing flags. If you want to learn how to make these, guys, like these videos, and I'm going to show you how to make your own streamers. Like I said, make your own streamers, your own worship flags. I'm going to show you how to make The streamers, they're very easy to make, but I'll also show you how to make the bigger ones too, because they're very easy to make. And you have just different kinds of flags because you want to praise and you want to worship the Lord. So making worship flags 101. Like my page, like this video, subscribe, and I'll put more videos on to show you how to make the bigger flags, how to make streamers, certain materials that you'll need, the difference between those. If you don't sew, remember, it's very easy. Until next time, I bid you peace and get your praise on. Make your flags in Jesus' name. Like the page, subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.